Well, everyone, welcome to AI Movies Review, and I'm here to review Season 2 of Human Resources, the spin-off from Big Mouth, and this is from creator Nicole, and this series has a very interesting kind of spin on it, where it's focusing more on the different kinds of creatures that inhabit the emotions and feelings of all the characters from Big Mouth and this second season. A big focus is really on some of our love bugs in terms of how they're engaging, how they're interacting in their own relationships. I think one of the big core ones is this love story between one of the Logic Rocks Peter and one of the love bugs Rochelle, who unfortunately is a hate worm at this point in this season. I think Randall Park and Keke Palmer are fantastic in these roles. You get a lot of depth, and I think they give Keke Palmer a lot to do in this particular season, and you get to see love bug version, hate worm version, and Palmer's really playing off both of those really well. You have Lionel, the shame wizard, and David Thewlis is so fantastic in this show, and he had some good growth throughout this season. Gaining more confidence, obviously, of Connie and Maury, played by my Rudolph and Nicole, and there's a lot of fun big-name people, like Hugh Jackman being one of the Addiction Angels, and Jermaine Clement being one of the I do think that there's a lot going on, there's a lot of characters they're trying to balance here, and some of them get more interesting story threads than others. But I did appreciate the human stories that they were having in this particular season, and Eugene Levy and Florence Pugh are fantastic as those human characters. You really get some time to dig into that. One of my favorite standouts of this season is Petra the Ambition Grandman, played by Rosie Perez, who gets a really meaty episode of trying to help this kid who can't speak up for himself. Trying to connect with his parents, and this show obviously has a lot of the very graphic and very sexual content that Big Mouth has, but it gives a lot of layers to these other characters that for the most part are there to be representations for the kids in the show. And some of the adults, but here, they're their own fleshed-out characters, they all have their own insecurities, their own desires, and all those things, and I think this show is such a great idea, and I think this second season delivers a really good follow-up season, all leading up to a fun die-hard parody that really brings a lot of these storylines together. I don't know if I like this as much as Big Mouth, but I do think that it has a lot more potential to do some crazy and fun things. Because Big Mouth is supposed to be more relatable, it's fantastic, it's really dirty and stuff like that, but it's still focusing on human beings and their emotions. Here, you're humanizing all these strange creatures and the things that they come up with, like one of them not being able to be in their apartment because crabs, giant human-sized crabs, and all of these things going on. There's a lot of characters to enjoy, some of them are forgettable and just feel like they're taking up some space, but in general I think the second season was a nice follow-up, and if I'm not mistaken this show got cancelled, so this is the last one, but I do feel like it ends with a really nice big musical number that kind of feels like a nice ending to the show, and that's a fun thing too, is they could find some fun musical numbers to throw in this outrageous show in Big Mouth. Which is appreciated. But those are my thoughts on Season 2 of Human Resources. Let me know what you think and don't forget to subscribe my channel.